To other news, 10 persons, including children, were left homeless after a fire destroyed their homes at Nunparial Road in Negril, Westmoreland on Monday. Reports said that the fire started shortly after 4:30 that is, and swept through a yard and gutted 3 houses and 2 shops. There were no reports of injuries. Now, TVJ News understands that the affected families relocated to a neighboring community. At least 2 councillors in the Manchester Municipal Corporation are calling on the corporation to provide funds to councillors to assist fire victims in their division. Councillor for the Grove Town Division, Icival Cherry Brown, highlighted that victims of fire find it extremely difficult to restart their lives and often turn to councillors for help. But she says councillors often do not have the funds or other resources to assist.
It's a cost. When I go and spot, what can I do? I can't do nothing. I know Minister will go there, yes, but we are the council's persons vote for us. They need to see that we can do something for them. Now we can't do anything. So this petition, let us all support it. So we can get something, no matter how little it is. Also.
And head of the Manchester Division of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Superintendent Emric Needham, says his department has reached out to fire victims after fires to assist with varying needs.
As an organization, we struggled with going out there, putting out fires and seeing persons homeless, not knowing what to do. Yes, we are advised to point them to the departments that can render assistance, like Ministry of Labour, Red Cross, and all the other agencies who tend to be able to help. And yes, we point them to you too, because you are a corporate, a public figure who can also assist. So they will look to you as their leader.
Inner City is now back on the grid. The Universal Service Fund, USF, has successfully restored all community and public Wi-Fi sites across St. James through its highly anticipated USF Connect the West Road Tour. Alia Bryant reports.
The USF officially launched 30 community and public Wi-Fi sites across St. James on Friday. Dubbed Connect the West, the initiative is being described as a powerful statement that no Jamaican, regardless of income or address, should be left offline in a rapidly evolving digital era. Chief Executive Officer of the Universal Service Fund, Charlton McFarlane, says damage to several sites following the passage of Hurricane Melissa provided the agency with an opportunity to rebuild and strengthen the network stronger.
So far, we have reconnected over 280 community Wi-Fi sites right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. We are now using both fiber and satellite connectivity, which means if the fiber grid goes down, right, if it's damaged, then we can switch over and connect to the internet using satellite technology. Further to that, right, and something I'm very proud of, we have also equipped our community Wi-Fi solutions with solar-powered technology, which means if the grid should go down, then we would still have power enough to adequately provide connectivity for our Wi-Fi sites.
Member of Parliament for St. James Central, Heroy Clark, has praised the USF and the government for making digital inclusion a national priority.
Let us be honest this morning. In 2026, no internet is no opportunity. No internet means our children cannot do their school research after 3 p.m. You know, when you're going to the community at Canterbury and Rosite and them places, not everybody can afford it. So when you have free Wi-Fi, then it gives them the chance to make sure that the schoolwork is on time.
Alia Bryant, TVJ News.
It is now time for a break, but do stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It is now time for the Business Minute. Bank of Jamaica data show that the assets of Jamaica's commercial banking sector stood at approximately $2.8 trillion at the end of the first quarter, representing about 74% of projected gross domestic product. The figures published under the Banking Act indicate that NCB Jamaica remained the country's largest commercial bank with assets of $977.5 billion. It was followed by Scotiabank Jamaica with assets of $747.8 billion and JN Bank with $289.7 billion. The data also show that Sagicor Bank Jamaica was next, followed by JMMB Jamaica, CIBC Jamaica, and Citibank Jamaica. No data were reported for First Global Bank for the period under review. Further afield, a major piece of legislation is getting closer to becoming a reality. On Monday, the Senate passed a housing affordability bill, the largest of its kind in decades. The package, dubbed the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, comes after months of talks between members of both parties in the Senate and the House of Representatives. The bill focuses on increasing supply, lowering costs, and stopping private equity from purchasing single-family homes. Leaders in the House have shown support for the bill, and it is expected to be voted on there soon. President Donald Trump previously signaled that he plans to sign it into law. And that's it for the Business Minute. Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, has agreed to establish a high-level advisory team to guide negotiations with the United States on accepting a limited number of non-criminal third-country nationals and refugees. Leaders say the issue has serious implications for security, sovereignty, and limited resources. Antigua and Barbuda has rejected a reported U.S. proposal to accept 120 deportees, saying it is only prepared to take up to 10 people a year and will not accept criminals. And on the international scene, a police officer is among 3 people dead after a shooting in Montreal. Officer Mohamed Lamine was killed after police responded to reports of a man pointing a gun from a hotel window. A civilian and the suspect also died, while a second officer was shot and remains in stable condition. Now authorities are now reviewing a more than 100-page manifesto believed to be linked to the gunman. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Aaliyah. We now head to our final break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.